Cameroun in Yaoundé, after which he granted a press conference in which he recalled the party's stand, which is not to accept elections under Elekam.
One-man fight is not a Frundi fight, it's not an SDF fight, it's a Cameroonian people's fight. And for 18 years we've been fighting for free, fair elections. Countries that came behind us, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Ghana have had it. With all the resources that Cameroon has, why can we not, for once, have it? The SDF is still bent and very determined to make sure that this comes to happen so that credibility can be brought into the limelight.
Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Justice Amadou Ali also revealed the results of an investigation into the death of Bibi Gota last April while in prison. According to the report, the publisher of Cameroon Express died from infections related to the fact that he had HIV/AIDS. His immune system was weakened and therefore infections led to his death. This report left many journalists, associations and syndicates unsatisfied, as many criticized the procedures used to obtain the report, and the investigators in some cases could be accused of not being truly neutral. Cholera again is on the rampage. With more than 400 deaths confirmed, this week public health officials, better late than never, started taking extra measures to prevent the spread after confirmed cases were recorded in Yaoundé and Douala this week. The Minister of Public Health took charge in Yaoundé while the Secretary of State for Public Health was in the economic capital to see that emergency measures were taken and all were on the alert. Schools in the littoral region have been making extra strides to keep pupils and students safe while the cholera disease is around their environment.
First of all, we bought soap for kids to wash hands after coming back from the toilet. For the food sale, the sellers, we refuse them to sell eggs, yogurt, folere, all these joys that are being done traditionally, locally. So since this morning, there is no sellers in my school with yogurt or folere.
Take measures, and the measures have been first sensitizing the students. The students have been sensitized already. This was done last Thursday, and they know that they have to wash their hands. They have to before and after eating. They must reduce contact. We've tried to put in place proper sanitation conditions around the water points where they drink water. So we put wash hand basins. We have put where we place soap for the children to wash their hands. It has been there, but we've just reinforced all of this. And we've gone to the markets, what they call the canteens. So to let those who sell food know they're not supposed to sell what they call yogurt. They're not supposed to sell fruits.
In economic news, a South African business delegation was in Cameroon not only to look at trade ties between the two countries, but also to prepare Cameroonian delegation that will be visiting South Africa next month.
Saying the potential between trade between Cameroon and South Africa is huge, but the actual trade taking place is quite low. The balance of trade between Cameroon and South Africa is in favor of South Africa. We saw the figures there, extremely low. It's been going down all the time. I mean, our export revenues from exporting to South Africa is just about $2 million, about 1 billion CFA. And importing from South Africa, we did about 58 billion, which is about 120 million US dollars, which a huge imbalance, but even in terms of relative, in terms of volume of trade from the two sides, is just far too low. And so the government decided that, frankly, it would provide the structure to encourage the Cameroonian private sector to look very closely into trading with South Africa. And that's
but obviously we come from an institution that will provide finance for Cameroonians to invest in their own country and also increase potential investment in South Africa as a two-way trade. We have finances that are available for the agro-processing industries. We've got finances for infrastructure through the PPP, public and private partnerships. We have investment available for the mining sector, mining and beneficial negotiation. We also have investment through the textiles industry. We're looking to bring some South African investment through the chemicals industry, where we can harness the oil and gas industry, which Cameroon seems to be so well placed about. So really, we're looking to bring in some form of investment through quasi-equity, direct investment in terms of equity or even pure debt, so that we can provide some.
The President of the Republic also this week laid down some guidelines for the realization of the state budget, which is behind schedule. The presidential circular was addressed to ministers and governors and called on all to take stock of the situation so as to work together to its realization. In the near future, the project will become a reality. Cameco would see its first flight on the 28th of March 2011. This was revealed by its general manager during the week, Alex Van Elk. Destinations that it would fly to will include Paris, Dubai, Nairobi, Johannesburg, and later on Central African nations, as well as national destinations like Yaoundé and Douala. The head office will be based in Douala. The Minister of Transport, after the numerous fatal accidents recorded along the Yaoundé-Douala highway, took some strict measures this week by sanctioning some bus agencies who are accused of not respecting the regulations. Campus Express Voyage was suspended indefinitely, while Super Comfort was suspended for 12 months. These measures once more have been considered as ineffective, as more is left to be done when it comes to the enforcement of road safety. The Minister of Labour and Social Security was in the economic capital Douala at the height of constant unrest at Chantier Naval. It was an opportunity to meet the management to help find solutions to the constant strikes. Moon Ki-ho and Antoine Bikoro held a tete-a-tete with the minister with the objective to redynamize the company. The days ahead will be very tough and challenging, as urgent solutions are needed to sort out the unending problems at Chantier Naval. The validation report of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative in Cameroon, the third of its kind, has been presented to the public. The presentation took place in Yaoundé this week, and the ceremony brought together several state ministers, members of the diplomatic corps, amongst others, to seek to qualify Cameroon as a state working in conformity with the EITI rules.
What we have in hand is based on available information in the companies, in the administration.
The pirates around the coast of Cameroon are at work again. This week they kidnapped 2 sailors after attacking a Balian ship along the coast of Cameroon late on Sunday night. The 2